Good evening. I'm Scott Binsack, and thank you for joining me. Tonight, I'm going to be discussing against the odds, risking more than the rest for the ultimate success. There is no such thing as safe. Think about it. What is safe? Safe is something that we generate in our own minds to feel comfortable. And if you think about it, you get in a car, you put on a seatbelt, and you know you have an airbag and a good car, so you feel safe. But in reality, you're not safe. Meaning, you could still die in that car, you could still get injured in that car, you could even have a heart attack in that car. Nothing is safe if you really, really think about it. It's all projected in our own minds. Airplanes, cars, your own house. You go in your own house, you lock the doors, you put on the alarm system, you believe you are safe. And thus, nothing can happen to you. But in reality, even in your locked house, something can happen to you. There is no such thing as safe. There's only risk. Because every day that we get up, we take risks. Everything that we do. Because there's no time limit on when our time is up. So we risk everything. Every day. When we get even into that car, or we go to that job, or you walk across that street, or you take, everything is a risk. There is no safe. It's risk. Because just living is a risk. Because there's no definition in time, time when our time is up. There's no definitive answer as to what the outcome of anything will be. The world needs new companies. The world needs leaders, not followers. In our volatile world, especially in the United States, but the whole world, we need leaders. We need leaders. Risk offers purpose to business as well as your life. Every day. You must risk more than others think is possible to get anything in success. So to be successful, you must risk more than others think is possible. It's that simple. However, if you don't risk anything, you gain nothing. It's again like getting in that car. If you don't risk getting in that car every day, how do you go to work? Even if you'd say, oh, I don't want to get in that car because I'm afraid to go in the car, you still got to walk to work or take a train or a plane or a bus. However you get to work, you're taking a risk. Same thing in business. Let me ask you something. How many of you sitting there watching this want to open your own company or own your own company and you don't know what to do with it? Because you followed somebody and said, okay, I'm going to open my own business. You did your business plan and you said, okay, I'm good to go, but then you can't follow through on the steps. Or you started to follow through on the steps and you don't know, you're thinking about it too much, you don't want to act, you don't want to do, or you want to open your own company. Or you want to go to school, but you don't want to take the steps and risk, well, if I got to do this, I got to take out a loan, how am I going to pay it back, how am I going to do that? Risk gives you purpose. Safe gives you no purpose. So here I am. I leave home at 16 from a horrible childhood. I'm living in my car, 73 Mustang, and I took a massive risk. I left home. Had no choice. Was it stay there and suffer severely and possibly even die, or take the risk and go out on my own with basically nothing except my mind and the skills that I knew I had as a carpenter, even and in building at 16. I was building tree forts since I was 5. I was playing in new construction homes and developments since I was 5. I always looked at all the framing and the how the houses put together, and the sheetrock and the insulation sheetrock, the electrical, you name it. I took it all in, and it's weird. I just absorbed it. I've been called a protege for building and design. If I didn't risk leaving home, I wouldn't have been able to start the next chapter of my life. So here I am living in my car. I go and get a job, and I take a local newspaper, and I find a job, an advertisement for a job with a local contractor. He interviews me. He sees I know some things. He asks me, can I do this? Can you do that? Can you do this? My answers are yep, 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 and yep. I can do it. I can do it. Really? Okay, we're going to see how you do. Threw me out there in a job. And I'm taking a heavy risk here now because I could get fired immediately, because half the stuff he asked me, could I do? Have I ever did before? Did I ever do before? No, I never did. So I take this risk. I go, and day by day, I winged it. I risked every day going to that job, even going on on roofs and places and different style roofs and homes and doing demolition, you name it. It was a risk every day. And I learned every day. And at 18, I had this job, and I saved up money. I eventually lived above my grandparents' house in Westbury, Long Island. And I opened my own company at 18, actually 17, because to get the license, I had to lie to get the license. To be a licensed contractor, you had to be 18. But I couldn't work without the license or the insurance. So I did it. I took another risk. And other people would say, you can't, there's no way you can open your own business. That's all I heard. At 17, you can't do that, Scott. You can't do that. Risk more than others think is possible. No way. You're not going to make it. You can't do anything. You don't even have a truck. It's true, I didn't have a truck. I had my Mustang. Here we go. I had started to do side jobs while I was working with this local contractor. It didn't last long with the local contractor. I started running a crew for him, believe it or not, at 17. And I know I needed more. I knew I needed to get out of my own. And I know many of you watching this know you need more than your 9-to-5 job, or you have that dream of owning your own company, or to get an education. But I know you want more. Everybody wants more. And even if you're in your own business, you want to develop it more. You want to grow. You want to be the ultimate leader. And everyone can be the ultimate leader. Everyone. In anything that they do in their life can be the ultimate leader. So how do you do it? So now here, I'm doing these side jobs, and then I open my own company, and people coming to me, Scott, I'd like to hire you. I heard you did a job for so-and-so. Heard you did this. I was doing a lot of roofing, siding, windows, decks, painting. You name it, I was doing it. And when I was asked, could you do that? Yep, I could do that. And if I didn't know it, I found it. And back then there was no internet, so you had books, you had this, whatever. I had to look at designs, how to build this, a deck. I absorbed it. I just absorbed it all in. And all this, every day I was taking a risk. You go to work on someone's house and you tear it apart, you're taking a major risk. Major risk. And you have to say to yourself when you're taking these risks, okay, I'm going to do this, and you're going to do it. You're going to do it every day. I'm going to open this business. I'm going to follow through with this business. I'm going to do it. I'm not going to sit here and keep thinking about it and overplan it. This is the problem. A lot of people sit there. They want this. Everybody has dreams. How do you make the dreams come true? Take risks. You must risk. No risk, no reward. You want safe? Go fishing every day. That's not even safe either. Nothing's safe. You think it's safe sitting on a couch playing video games every day? Or you think it's safe sitting behind that office desk from 9 to 5 working for some other leader? People get comfortable. People are afraid. Here's the key. People are afraid to take risks because they feel safe. They feel comfortable. Same word, safe, comfortable, relaxed. There is no safe. It's in your mind. You think that you're safe, and you're really not safe, as I was stating. So, every day, here I was asked, could you do this? Could you do that? And I did it. I took a risk opening up people's houses. Can you put a addition on my house? Sure. You know you got to open it up, tear the roof off. And you know it could rain. You know it could be anything. Every day I took a risk. Every day with my determination. And I'm going to tell you this right now. To be anything in this world, you have to have nerve. I'll use it. I was going to use a different word, but I won't use it on here. Even though I'm a very real person, I tell you how it is. That's a word I don't want to use. But you have to have nerve. You have to have nerve, and you have to risk more than others think is possible. And when everyone tells you you can't do it, you risk more. Because the worst and the only thing that can happen is you fail. And then you get back up and you risk some more, and some more, and some more. Again, do you want to be a leader? The world needs leaders. Look at our society today. And even back when I was, look at the United States. Look at the world. We need leaders. We need solid leaders that take risks. Look at the biggest, most successful men and women that there are. They took risks. They risked more than others think is possible. The stock market, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Donald Trump. Go down the line. Me. By 23, I was a self-made millionaire. Like that. Didn't even know it was happening. All I did was risk, focus, risk, determination. No fear. Risk. Nothing is safe. The business that you're planning, there's nothing guaranteed. The education you're planning, nothing guaranteed. But you still have to risk it and do it to achieve it. No risk, no reward. The higher the risk, the more reward. It's like playing the stock market. You risk an IPO that you think is going to do it. Is it the guarantee? Hell no. Of course not. But many people do it every day. And many people see the extreme gains from their risk. You can do it every day. Open that business you want. Go get that education you need. If you're in a stale job or your company is stagnant right now, risk some more. Go to the next level. Take it to the next level. Don't be afraid, because nothing's safe, and the worst that can happen is you fall. Okay, I fall. You get back up. Now here's the key. This first company, I had nothing. I was in my car. I had nothing. No capital. How did I get my capital? And I'm going to share that with you right now. My capital, and it was, and it may still be, a taught technique. But my capital came from my clients. My capital came from my jobs. My capital came from the risk I took. I got paid a deposit, bought the materials, went to work, finished the job, got my next payment, took that money, put it in the bank, bought more equipment, bought another truck. Same thing, on and on and on and on and on, as it build and build and build. Customer capital. I didn't need a lot of money to start. I went to work for somebody else, got a little bit of money that I needed, bought some tools, slowly took the risk, went out, worked, did side jobs for people, let it know that I was doing it. Then Then I incorporated. Then I got licensed. And my company, East Coast Construction, soared. Soared. 16, 17, 18, whatever it was, $1 million at the time. I was 23. I risked, I saw, and I achieved. Because nothing is safe. Nothing. Not one investment you make is safe. Not real estate, not stocks, not bonds. Nothing. Nothing is safe. Not even gold and silver. It fluctuates and goes up and down. Nothing is safe in the world. Nothing. So I risked. I took this company, opened up $1 million office in West Hampton Beach, started building multi-million-dollar building and remodeling and restoring multi-million-dollar homes on Dune Road in the Hamptons. I risked every day, learned as I went, learned from my mistakes. I saw it, I believed it, and thus I risked it. No risk, no gain. Just taking the risk is success in itself. Most people, not most people, the average person will never take that step. They'll think about it, they'll contemplate it, they'll plan it, but they will never take the step. It's like bungee cord jumping. People have get up there, they get hooked in a harness, and then they never jump off because of fear. It's a risk. They won't risk jumping off of that hook to a harness because they think they could die. They drove to there. And one more time, I'm going to tell you, you take a risk. They drove to where they had to get to go get hooked on that harness and to jump off that mountain, that bridge, wherever they are. You drive yourself, or you take a train or a train or an automobile to get on a plane. People are afraid to fly. It's a risk to fly. It's a risk to drive there. It's a risk to go on a train. A train could derail. This could happen. But if you thought about that every day, you'd be like this, paralyzed. People would be paralyzed if they thought about that every day. So what difference is it when it comes to business or your life? Risk it. And ultimately, I think it was 12 years later, I sold off half of that company and dissolved the other half because I got divorced. Went to Pennsylvania, created another development company. Within 6 months, that one was doing $6 million. I took a risk there, never did development. And I was not a developer, I was a custom home builder. Anytime you can take a business from nothing and bring it into millions of dollars in gross sales and achieve that success, even if it's not into the millions, even if it's the hundreds of thousands, it doesn't matter. You took the risk. I took the risks. You have to risk. Don't just sit there dormant. Don't just sit behind your desk 9 to 5. Follow your dreams. Take the risks. Reap the reward. We need leaders. We need new companies. We need good companies. We need the current companies to get stronger, better, wiser. The world is changing fast. The internet is a whole new ball game. It's changing fast. Everything is changing at rapid pace. Our economies are in horrible condition. And you say, well, I have to invest money. Okay, take the risk. Here's a story. Some of you may know this, some of you may not. Many large companies, men or women, risked more than others thought is possible against all odds. Federal Express is one of them. Had this great idea, and at the time, nobody thought, who needs overnight mail? Who's going to pay to ship all that overnight? Who's going to do this? Who's going to do that? You're never going to do it. He borrowed money from his father, then the father wouldn't lend him more money. Whoever it was in the family lent him more money. He had to borrow more money. He hocked everything he had, basically, house, blah, blah, blah. Everything he could do, he risked to build that company. That's what set him apart from everybody else. He had a dream, he had a great idea, and he took the risk. And look at Federal Express now. Look at me. Car, 16, 23, multi-million-dollar house on the beach, multi-million-dollar business, multi-million-dollar fleet of cars, blah, 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 blah. This show, I'm not discussing, and this is not about monetary value. I'm trying to stress a point here, because that, to me, I've learned in 44 years, is meaningless. What's the point is meaningful here is that the risk involved. There was no guarantees for me. None. No guarantees. And I failed all the time. Got back up. I failed many things in my life. But I always took the risk. Always take the risk, because there's nothing that's safe. Once you grasp that there's nothing safe, then what do you have to lose? Plus, life's too short. So I built a second company. And it was basically from nothing as well, because after my divorce, I was hit hard. And it was a tough situation. I had to start all over again. And then that company, I was in a near-fatal auto accident not even 6 months after I opened it. As I've discussed in my other shows, I died in the auto accident, saw death. So I had to file Chapter 11 on that company. 1999. 4.5 years later, I started Mansions and Estates International. The company, within 3 years, was doing, the last books that checked in 2007 were gross sales 14 mil, ready to do 18 to 20 the following year. I started that one with zero. You know how I did it? Went back to my original plan, what I only knew how to do as a kid. I went to work for somebody else, framing houses, and meaning as a subcontractor. I made good money. Within 4 months of framing a house a week and bringing in a profit of anywhere from $6,000 to $10,000 every 7 days, just from framing larger homes with a crew. I took that money, created Mansions and Estates, bought more tools, bought more equipment, advertised, branded, all risks. I could have said to myself, no, you're going to fail, you're going to do this, why take another risk, why do this, why do that, da, da, da. Never second guess. Take the risk and do it. Don't sit there every day thinking about it. Overthinking is horrible. Thinking in negotiations is horrible. Don't think too much. Take your idea, do your homework, do the business plan, and then go. That's it. My business plans were not done on fancy computers. They were done on notepads, legal pads. My first company, no business plan. Second one, not even really. Third, yes, but not even. Risk, see it, believe it, do it. And it doesn't matter if you fail. That's how you learn. And then you risk more. And you're smarter then, and you're wiser every time you fail. And it still all comes down to risk. No risk, no glory. And it doesn't matter the ultimate outcome of whatever you're risking to do. As I said, because everything is a lesson in life. But do you stay safe, what you think is safe, or do you go for it? Everybody has a purpose here. And I believe people's purposes are to follow their dreams and thus help others. Because to be ultimately successful as well, you help others become successful, and then you become more successful yourself. And that's a risk too, when you help other people. There's no guarantees, but if you don't take a risk, and now we'll talk about life. If you don't take a risk in relationships, people get burned. They say, oh, I don't want to do that again. I'm never going to be with somebody again. I don't want to see men. I don't want to see women. I don't want to see this. Are you kidding me? Do you want to wallow in your sorrows, or are you going to risk? There's no safe. So you think not dating or not going out with anybody else is safe? What are you doing with yourself? You're miserable. And even if you're happy not dating, nobody wants to be alone. Don't get me wrong. People like to have their alone times. I do myself. But my point I'm trying to make is that everybody wants to share their life with someone that they love. So people refuse to take risks because they're afraid of getting hurt. Again, no risk, no reward. If you don't risk being open-minded to meeting someone else, it's not going to happen. And you think you're safe. You're not safe because your time is whittling away every day. Your life is passing by every day. Every day that you don't take a risk, even though every day we take the normal risks of getting up and following through and getting in the car, getting on the train, as I said, it's the ultimate risks you have to take. Don't just sit there and try to be safe. Risk, and then you'll be happy beyond your wildest dreams. And you know what? Even if you take a risk again, and you're only happy for a day, a week, 5 years, 2 years, whatever, you still were happy, and the risk was worth it. Even if you get hurt in the end, because you got to look at all the good that came out of it and the lessons, and even with the bad. You can find peace in bad. You found the key. If you can find good in bad, and I can, and that's a key, you find the key to peace. You have to risk, people. You have to risk. Even if you're a current business owner now. I know, being a business owner, you want more. Find the happy medium and risk it and do it. You want more from your life and relationships, risk it. There's nothing safe. Take the chance. Enjoy your life. You could meet somebody incredible and spend the rest of your life with them. And if you don't the first time or the second time or the third, so what? You never give up. You take the risks. If you risk nothing, you gain nothing. If you don't take the risk and thus the steps, you gain zero. What are you gaining? Nothing. And when other people say, don't do that, don't listen to anybody who tells you, is a good example. If if you were to watch somebody or somebody told you you're putting too much peanut butter on your bread, that's a sign that they need to go. Have a nice day. Take a walk. You don't need anybody telling you anything like that. Be positive. Take risks. You'll be very successful. Don't be afraid to love it again. Don't be afraid to even if you got burned by friends and they're the worst, don't be afraid to create new friendships. You have to take risks. You have to. And as I was explaining, everybody gets stuck where they say, well, in business, I don't have the money to do that. There's many ways to get capital. There's many ways to make anything happen if you truly, truly want it and you truly want to take the risk. As I've discussed in other shows, what's the other shows? If you haven't seen them, fear. Fear within, that's the safe. As you see, you feel safe, you're not afraid. Well, again, fear is accumulated in the mind. Is created by the mind. So is safe. Safe is created by the mind. But risk, when you got to take that step, that's doing. That's getting it done. That's living. Safe is not living. It's not. I'm sorry to tell you, safe is not living. There's a whole world out there. You have a lot of dreams. And even if you're older and you don't want to open your own business or you don't want to relationship, risk doing other things. If you're stuck in your house and you want to go and you want to do other things, go to some gatherings, go do this, don't be afraid, do it. Get out and live. Create your dreams. And don't let anybody tell you any differently to stand in your way. You want to invest in the stock market? Do it. Do some homework. Talk to some brokers. Go online. You can E-Trade, you name it. They're all there. Do your homework and act. Take the risk. Put a little money in there. Do it. Try it. Boom, boom, boom. You got nothing to lose. What? You're going to lose money? You can't take money with you anyway. But if you don't try, no risk, no glory. You must risk more than others think is possible. I didn't pay myself and my companies for a very long time. In other words, I didn't pull a check. My business covered my automobiles and the write-offs of my offices and things like that, etc. I would take a profit at the end of the year, but I never cut myself a check. Very rarely did I, because my risk, my investment was into my company. Thus, it was in myself. I risked and invested in myself. And that's what you must do, and that's what's key here. You must risk on your own self. Invest in yourself. And then you'll be able to move mountains. But otherwise, you just sit stagnant every day. Every day, you sit stagnant. Why? Because you feel comfortable and you feel safe? Nothing's guaranteed in life. Nothing is safe. That's all fear. That's you all trapped within your own box. Get out of the box. Take risks. And as I'm telling you, there's many important ways to learn how to get the capital you need to start your business, as well as the steps you need to start living again if you've been in a broken marriage or a broken relationship, or there's been a death and you're alone and you don't want to move forward and take those steps. There's no safe. So take the risk and thus live. And you'll be successful. We need leaders, not just in business. We need leaders in people. Every day, you're a leader. Somebody else is going to learn from you by example. You lead by example. It's the best way. And really, in my mind, it's the only way. You lead by example. You risk more than others think is possible. Do you think Donald Trump and everybody or any real estate investments? Here's a good example. You want to be a real estate investor? How do you know that the house you're going to buy is definitely going to flip for this, or you're going to invest this amount of money to rehab it? You're not going to find other problems. You could try everything. You get home inspection. You could do this, do that. There's still no guarantee when you open the walls up or you go to do this, you're not going to find a serious problem. Da 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 da. Or the market may tank tomorrow. In our society, in our economy, anything can happen in our economy today. And that's a key you have to learn and listen to what I'm telling you here. You take the risks. You buy the property. You do the rehab. Okay. Some things may go wrong. You get in over your head. Okay. You may break even. You may lose a little money. So what do you not risk anymore? You get smarter from the first one that you did. Take that knowledge and go out there and risk it some more. And some more, and some more, and some more. Don't be foolish, however, because the secret here, when you are going to do anything business-wise, is a lot of people make the mistake when they go in their business and they take the risk, they try to start reaping the rewards immediately. Don't do it. Put your money back into the company. Keep putting it back in. Keep putting it back in. Building it. You want to build it on rock, not sand. And I've made many mistakes along the way. And it's key here that you keep building. And the only way to build is risk. And the only way to grow anything, yourself, your company, and thus your life, or your investments or whatever, is to take risks. Risk, risk, risk. And don't overthink it. Just do it. Get it, act on it, see it, and do it, and believe it, it will happen. And again, so what if you fall down? You get back up, you learn, risk some more. And I don't want to hear, well, you know, I got this, family, this, that. Listen, you have to take the risks. Because if you don't, as I said, if you don't take the risk, you're going to have no glory. You're going to go nowhere. You're going to be stuck. And I know many watching this are stuck. You could never get me to go to work from 9 to 5. Not happening. And that's not no disrespect against the people that do. It's because I was bred as my own person and my own boss. And I will risk and have the nerve, use another word as I said, but have the nerve to do that, to stand up. And again, as I said, even in relationships and in marriage and life, but stand up, take the risk. Say, even, here's another good example. In life, people are afraid to speak because they feel safe not saying anything. Say what's on your mind. Professionally, respectfully, etc. But say it. Don't hold it in. Take the risk. You got nothing to lose. You want to raise? Ask. You want changes in your relationship and your marriage? Ask, talk. If it doesn't work and they hit the brick wall, you took the risk, you learned, that's it. You try, now it's over. Have a nice day. You learn. Listen to what I'm telling you. Do not risk. Be a leader. We got enough sheep. And there's leaders leading the leaders that are really sheep. And don't get so caught up in the politics and all this garbage, because 99% of the crap that they're feeding you on the internet and TV from certain sources is garbage. And it's to make you look over here while you can't take the risks and move your life over here and rise above what's happening. Open your mind. Look what's going on around you. Focus, take the risk, and you will be successful in everything that you do. It comes down to, again, no fear. And there's several ways you can use to build anything you want. You want to be smarter, you want to go to school. You can get it done. There's many ways. Take the risk and do it. Don't think I'm going to fail. I'm going to do this. So what if you fail? Put that on the business plan. Failure to the side. Because it's a possibility. Just saying, it's a possibility. But the key here on the plan is success. Failure is over here, success is here. But you know what? They're at the same. Because even when you fail, you succeed because you took the risk and you tried. That's success in itself, where most don't even take the risk or just the chance to do anything with their lives. And it comes back to the other show I did. Are you a wolf or are you a sheep? And you should be a wolf in your life with anything. In other words, stand up for yourself. Follow your dreams. Stand up for you. Be a wolf to yourself. Take the risks. Be a wolf. Everything ties together. Every one of my shows, everything in life, all ties together in a big thing. But it all comes down to very simple things. If you look at the reality of life, nothing's safe. There's only risk. And you do it every day, and you subconsciously don't even know you're doing it because it becomes an everyday practice. So why not take risks on a higher scale and make it an everyday practice? Now, I'm not saying that you should just invest everything you have, or if you have money or whatever, and throw it away. What I'm saying is take the appropriate risks and steps, thus the steps to take those risks to do that. But you don't have to keep thinking about it and contemplating. Just do it. Just do it. That's all you got to do. Be a leader. You risk more than others think is possible, and what other people tell you is possible. You'll succeed always. You will succeed. And every day you get up, you take a risk by being alive. And thus you're a success already. Every time you take the steps to better yourself and follow through with your life every day, you're a success, and don't let anybody else tell you any different. And I don't mean taking steps from there to the couch to play video games. That's not a success. Or taking steps from there to wallow in your sorrows, or you may have lost your job and you don't want to try anymore. You don't want to take the risk to follow your dreams, to open your own business. Do it! You're only kidding yourself. You're only wasting time. And time is precious in the world today. Time is precious. We're our own worst enemies inside at times. And it's thus those thoughts that make you try to constantly stay safe because it's comfortable. Comfortable does not win the race. Leaders are not built on comfortable. Wolves are not built on comfortable. They're built on risk every day. And thus you have to have confidence in yourself. Throw the insecurities out. Throw the ifs, the buts, the whats, the this, the that, what if. Forget about it. Take the risk. Listen to what I'm telling you. I had nothing. I was in my car. I was counting change at one point. I took the risk every day. No fear. I did it. I just did it, and I succeeded, and I saw it at the same time happening, and it happened. That's another very key secret to life. See it and believe it, and it will happen. That's not a joke. That's the truth. That's not some psychiatric, psychology babble, mumble babble. That's the truth. The mind is very powerful. You can literally move mountains and things when you want to. But you got to take the risk of doing it. Don't let your mind, your own mind, defeat you. Your own mind will defeat you. And it defeats people every day. And I'm sure some watching this, it's defeated you. Don't let it defeat you anymore. Right now, change it. Take the risk to take the next step and the next step and the next step to change your future and be successful in all that you do. And if you're afraid to love again, go love again. And if that doesn't work, you love again. Because you find happiness along the way and you learn, and there's lessons, and that's what it's about. And you help others along the way by helping yourself. And then you're even more successful. Everybody, here's the problem though, when I say the word success, everybody ties in the word success, and I said it in other shows, to money and power. No. Success is every day that you do something with your life and take the risks to do something with your life and get up and make the effort. That's a success. And don't let anybody ever tell you any differently. Because anybody who judges anybody else 99% of the time, they're so insecure themselves, they have to pass it on to somebody else. Don't be afraid to risk. There's no such thing as safe. None. And take the chances. Just do it. Don't let anything hold you back, and especially don't let anyone hold you back from your dreams. And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Defeat the fear. Just keep telling yourself it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It'll become a habit. You can overrule your own mind very easily. You can change every action that you do and every thought that you have simply by changing the way you think. It's really just that simple. We need leaders in everything. In every way of life, we need leaders. And I mean even in your personal lives. Lead other people by example. You take a risk and somebody else sees that you took the risk, they'll take the risk. You better yourself, same thing down the line. You take a risk and start dating again, then somebody else sees, oh, look, you dated, you meet somebody with nice. You took the chance. And have some patience, okay? Patience is a virtue. Everything, take the steps one by one. But you have to take the risk. Good night and God bless.